that failure taught me all kinds of lessons. But the big lesson was the importance of not the grand plan, but the importance of understanding the business model and understanding the nuances of that and making sure that those moving parts are all working together. And had we thought about it that way, we probably would have moved into Charlotte, but done it much slower, much more putting our toe in the water and really kind of doing this as an experiment, and seeing what worked and what didn't, and then using that as a stepping stone. But we kind of fell into the trap of the grand plan that so many of us believed at that point.
So once you got into Charlotte, and just after a short amount of time, you kind of realized what was going on, and that it just wasn't going to work, and you just shut down shop.
Well, you have employees, you have leases, you have commitments. It's.
So to ride out the
we
mistake
had
for a little while.
we had to bleed out the mistakes a little bit.
There you go.
And it cost money.
Yeah.
Now, we made lots of other mistakes, but most of the times we were smart about making small mistakes that we could learn from.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably the one I learned the most on, because we kind of did the grand plan and kind of went all in. And while you can win a pot once in a while going all in, you get wealthy by making good small strategic bets.
Mm-hmm. That's a good analogy. So when you say that, I just want to, I guess, clarify your definition of this grand plan again for me, just so I...
Oh, the grand plan was we were going to instantly build this entire system in Charlotte.
Okay.
And invest gobs of money that we had raised from debt and equity financing, and replicate this thing and have the overarching infrastructure that worked and supported it, and both these things just are working great. It's sort of like the Disney mistake that they've made when they've gone into some international markets, and they assume we just pop another Disney World in. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
All kinds of things. Now, interestingly, by and large, our base operation was adapting in Raleigh. It was interesting that it was actually continuing to do these little experiments because that was part of our culture, and that's really what saved us, is we still had that essence there. We were able to kind of to retrench back to that and get that going again, and then kind of re-engage our growth.
So how did it feel? Tell us about the emotional side of it. Was there shock? Was there disappointment?
Yeah, I think it's humbling, and I think that was good.
It's always good, I think, for entrepreneurs, especially, and that has a lot to do with just if you expect on the front end, you don't get too far ahead of yourself and expect, okay, this isn't going to work for sure, kind of a thing. It's not going to work every single time. Be a little humbler and be like, I'm going to make mistakes. Can really be beneficial, as your story shows.
I think it got too easy for us, and we assumed that it would always be that easy.
So you were in need of that. You were in desperate need of that. Maybe not that. Yeah. Maybe not such a large one, but
maybe we deserved it. Maybe we deserved it. But we recovered, and that's the good thing, is that we recovered, and we did well from there, and had a lot of success. It wasn't a fatal error. It was a costly error. And it wasn't just the move. That's not the point of the story. The point of the story is, that we thought we could kind of do this grand, huge plan and then just get these massive expansions going on. And that's just, there's too many moving parts in a dynamic market to make that work right.
Yeah.
And it might have worked right at a different time. And in a way it did. It worked right in Raleigh because we were so new to the market there, but the market had changed by the time we did it in Charlotte.
Yeah, there are a lot of lessons in there. The dynamic market, the dynamic competiters,
the raising money and then figuring out what to do with it. Almost doing that. So
and then the humility side, or the ego side, I guess. Conversely, that's a great example of exactly what we're talking about.